So in today's video, I'm going to go over how to get to $1 million per year as a software engineer and all the different paths to get there. This is the kind of video I wish I had when I started programming, but yeah, it's like a little bit different from the videos that we have on the channel, but hopefully it'll be useful for you, especially if you are thinking about like how to optimize your time and like how you should be spending your time and how do you even get to $1 million per year. In this video, I want to lay all of that out. Let's get started. I worked at Amazon for 4 years. Within 4 years, my starting pay was around 180 per year, and then towards years 3 and 4, I managed to get up to 323K. And I think with the stock increases, this would have been at like 350 or 375. That was from the salary, and then obviously I was making money on side projects. So yeah, this was my salary as a employee at Amazon, and I made this tweet which was like how to get to $1 million per year as a software engineer. And the two paths which I think are probably the most likely are if you are a corporate or a non-corporate employee, and then also there's probably a mix of two where you can like do some salary and do some side project and get to $1 million. But I wanted to go over how you can get to $1 million in both paths. The first path is the corporate path, which is kind of the one where maybe you have a job and you grind it out up to $1 million per year. There's HRT and quant firms, which are these trading firms in New York, which pay a lot of money. So let me just go over like how much those were paid. If you go to like levels.fi, this is like a site that tells you how much each company makes. So if you go to SID, I think this one pays the most. This one or Hudson River Trading, you can see the odds. They will pay, it's $1 million. The L2 is like senior is $1 million. Grind these interviews and get to $1 million per year as a quant engineer. You need some math skills and some stat skills. If you're watching this path is not as likely, but that is one option. The other option is to become a full-time politician, a FANG company. So I say it tongue-in-cheek, but not really, because to go from senior dev to a principal dev, a FANG company like Google, Facebook, Amazon, it requires like a lot of basically being a politician, like making sure you're on the right projects, making sure you're under the right manager isn't as skillful as they put it out to be. Let me show you the options. If you go to Facebook, you need to be a principal here. This is a mid-level dev, like 302. It's probably a bit under if you live in New York, but it's probably like 350, 400. I have a friend that works there and he's making 450 this year. So you would definitely have to get to a senior or principal dev, plus the stock will help you get to $1 million. I think the main skill sets are like doing lead code plus doing really good at the interviews, and then getting 1 or 2 promotions is more likely because you can grind for it. You don't need a skill set of being really good at math. So that's the other option of getting to $1 million per year. But then, like, here is the non-corporate route. So I think this path, honestly, is a lot more fun, plus more likely if you're not connected or living in the States. For these two, to get to $1 million per year, you have to live in the States, and you have to live in SF or one of these tier 1 cities like New York, where it's like a lot higher cost of living. But the non-corporate route, you can live anywhere in the world and don't need those connections. Sometimes you might not get interviews for these two options. For the non-corporate route, the main thing is to grind marketing and sales. So to get to 100K MRR, let me just do some calculations. On the Exploding Insights site, I have this like calculator, but it just shows you like, okay, if you get to a million, like a 100K MRR, which is 100,000 revenue, 100K revenue per month, you would make 1.2 million per year. Let's say your dream net worth is like 5 million. Okay, so 5 million is pretty reachable, I think, especially if you grind at it for a few years. And let's assume the multiples are like 5x, or let's just be really conservative and put it 3x. Okay, so this is the multiple that you would get when you sell your company, assuming that you own 100% of the company, right? And your dream net worth is 5 million. So to hit that, you just have to hit 138K per month or 1.6 million per year. So this is like one SaaS that hits 138K per year. Okay, and then obviously it's like a lot more easier said than done, but like there is some path to get to 5 million net worth. Okay, so that's like the path where you pretty much grind sales and networking or sales and marketing, and then you get to 100K MRR, and this will bring you $1 million per year of revenue. Depending on if you want to reinvest or take that out of the company, you would be living a good life, right? So these are the two paths which I think of when I was starting coding, deciding if I wanted to like work at Amazon or my own like side projects. And as a small caveat, I just wanted to show you guys why I think if you work a corporate job, it's for savings. I made this simple sheet that shows you like how much money you make plus how much money you can take out after taxes and expenses, assuming you live in New York. And I just wanted to show you guys the math, right? So if you have a salary of 350K, after taxes, you would make 219. So this is assuming that you live in New York City, okay, where the taxes are crazy high, but life is pretty good, right? There's a lot of restaurants, food, restaurant parks, and whatever. It's 219K after taxes. Then after expenses, so this is the total amount of taxes that you've paid if you make this much. So I've calculated this with a different tool, but this is like the amount. So it's 131K. So out of 350, you have to pay 131K of taxes. That's fucking insane. But you can see that if you live in New York and assume your expenses are 3,500, which is on the low end. I lived in lower Manhattan, ate and went out whenever I wanted. With 4K, you could live a good life in New York. So 3,500 times 12, it's 42K per year. And then after taxes and expenses, you would save 177. And let's assume you save it for 5 years, you would hit almost $1 million. And here is like the total amount that you're paying to taxes and expenses. So it's almost 50% of your salary you have to pay to just live and to give to the government, which is insane. I'll like probably make another video on this, but I've done the math and it's way more efficient where if you sell a company, you only pay long-term capital gains and it's like 10 to 20%. Let me know if you like these financial videos. See you guys.